All right.
Chapter, and also a very important program in the calendar of the NIA National. The Kaduna Architects Forum has become a major program, not only for architects in Kaduna, but nationally. This year, we are looking at the theme, building a resilient future, architecture, risk, and sustainability in Kaduna. The theme is timely for us in Kaduna State as we continue to build on the gains of urban renewal and improvement and security that we are currently enjoying in Kaduna State. We believe our exchange of ideas through sharing knowledge at this conference will help in making recommendations that will impact policies, formulation, and implementation in Kaduna State. Most especially in areas of slum upgrades, and measures to mitigate flooding, collapse of buildings, and public infrastructure in Kaduna State, most especially. We look forward to your robust engagement and discussion in these Kadaf 3.0, and we know it will lead to a fruitful and progressive outcome. Thank you for finding time to be in Kadaf 3.0, and our prayer is that as we exchange ideas and also get to network with one another as architects, the outcome of this Kadaf 3.0 will impact public policy formulation not only in Kaduna.
Thank you very much. So distinguished guests, esteemed architects, and members of the Kaduna State Chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, I'm really honored to address the Kadaf event, Kadaf 3.0, when did it start, and see how it's growing. And this year is themed Building a Resilient Future, Architecture, Risk and Sustainability in Kaduna. How so apt? When you look at the way our cities face so much in terms of natural and even unnatural events threatening the environment, you know that this thing is apt and it resonates deeply with the challenges and opportunities facing our profession and our society. As we gather, I recall the recent World Architecture Day, celebrated on October 6, 2025, with the theme, Design for Strength. And that is how we need to design now. Design for strength. This theme underscores our role as architects to design for resilience and sustainability, aligning with our Unite agenda. Kaduna State Government's development strides, such as investment in infrastructure, urban renewal, and economic growth initiatives, underscore the importance of our role as architects. As key custodians of the built environment, we must further engage with government and stakeholders to shape a resilient future. By integrating innovative design sustainable practices, and risk management strategies, we can enhance Kaduna's urban landscape, promote economic growth, and improve quality of life. Our profession's impact is crucial in addressing challenges like climate change, urbanization, and infrastructural deficits. I'm particularly delighted by the sustenance of Kadaf and its growing impact among government, the public, and stakeholders in the built environment sector. This reflects the increasing recognition of architects' value in shaping our built environment. And let me especially recognize the efforts of the Kaduna Chapter Chair, Architect Steve Filia, who has been going around doing a lot of advocacy to ensure that architects are well recognized and are given the opportunity of doing their job in the built environment. I extend to him my warmest congratulations, not just to him, the entire team that put up this very impactful conference. Your tenure has been truly impactful, and I also congratulate you for this. The visibility and relevance given to NIA under his watch reflect the spirit of the Unite agenda. No wonder we see in our midst not only the young architects, but we also see the older architects sitting solidly, standing strong with him. This spirit of the Unite agenda shows us that unity, inclusion, empowerment, collaboration, and non-negotiable integrity are the skills that we need to make our institute strong. Let's leverage our expertise at this conference to drive positive change, foster resilience, and promote a sustainable future for Kaduna and beyond. And so, distinguished guests, particularly those who are joining us from different professions, esteemed architects, members of the Kaduna State Chapter, and all seated here, with these few words, I would like to declare open Kadaf 3.0. Thank you very much.
Development are ongoing everywhere, and particularly that Kaduna is a fast evolving city. Kaduna be the capital of northern Nigeria in those days. So Kaduna, whatever happens in Kaduna has a ripple to whatever will happen in the country. And so, because it is a fast-growing city, with the challenges of urban development and design, we find that a lot of waste is generated. And it's not just for Kaduna, but globally, construction waste is said to have contributed about 40% of global waste. So it means this is a very serious matter for us to tackle. And now, what is sustainability? Because even the secular economy is hinged onto sustainability. And the general understanding that we have in sustainability is that whatever current development that we are doing, they must not compromise on the future generations, their ability and capacity to be able to enhance their own development. And then the circular economy itself has principles or models that focuses on eliminating waste and promoting continuous reuse of resources in all urban systems. So you can see the connection. And then what are those urban challenges that we have? The urban challenges particularly in Kaduna and other urban cities, is causing a lot of environmental and infrastructural challenges that require sustainable solutions to tackle them. I wish my slides are ready so that we can go along so we will see what we are doing. And at the end of the day, what are the goals and the applications in urban design that we are going to be looking at? So we're going to be looking at the application of sustainable and secular economy principles or models in creating resilient, efficiency, and eco-friendly urban spaces. So we are able to adopt secular economy because of the challenges, like I said earlier, of unsustainable practices within the design and then the processes and the practices within the built environment. And when we talk about design, you know we're talking about the architect. And when we talk about other processes and other construction, we know that other allied professionals are also with us. So it's not a one professional thing. So we'll even get to see later how these different professionals need to come together. So what do we do? In applying secular urban design, we're able to move forward and ensure that our designs are mindful of the end product. So it must be rooted in regenerative materials, reuse, and resource efficiency in all that we do in our design. And so that at the end of the day, we minimize or do away with waste completely. And so we discover that what has been happening before now is what we call traditional or linear design and construction. So but in the secular economy, what we bring to place is that it is shifting away from that traditional processes that you just acquire, you use, and you discard. But in the secular economy, its application allows you to sustainably acquire, employ, ensure that this design and the processes and the construction activities are not just sustainable, but that they give you room for sustainable way of sourcing those materials and then their application. And at the end of the day, it is not going to waste. It will either go to reuse, or you change, or recycle, or regenerate. So those are the kind of ideas that we have, and that is the relationship between what was and what is and what we're expected to do. So in urban design, what circular economy does is that it ensures that buildings are designed for longevity, for material reuse, and for waste in design application from inception, that's from the start to finish. And at the end of the day, the projects or the infrastructures that you are able to design and produce are not to add to the problem that we have and the challenges of the built environment as far as urban design is concerned by producing more waste. So in circular economy, we would ensure that the urban design also takes care of what we call material passports. And in material passports, what do? We ensure that the digital records of materials that we use are ensured so that these facilities are able to be used or to be put to other uses. What other things can we do? Say modular construction. So during the construction, you ensure that whatever is going to go into a structure, it's not assembled on site, but you have it off-site and you just bring those units. And because it is produced off-site, you discover that manufacturers are business people. So they don't think of waste. Whatever piece or whatever output that they get, they put it to other use. So you kind of encourage what is going on the site. You just give your dimensions, you give your specifications, and you have them produce. So by the time they come to site, you just assemble. So you can see there's little or no waste being produced with that. And then, of course, it will speed up the timing for your construction. And another thing that we keep talking about is the adaptive reuse. And then you repurpose existing structures into other uses. And so you are able to move on. Unfortunately, most of our design or construction are traditional or linear in nature. So when we are talking about sustainable urban design strategies, what are those things that we look at? We look at how to optimize the design and construction stages. We look at how to optimize the flow, materials flows, and we look at how we rethink our infrastructure. So during design, it's not designing as usual, but that you are thinking because you now have idea of what circular economy will do and what it will not do, how it will help you. So you're already thinking before you even go into construction, and then strengthen the policies of environmental activities. When you are able to do that, we're going to look at each of these separately, and then you dive collaboration and education. Very important, like what we are doing today is part of the education that is required to ensure that people understand what is expected of them. So when we are optimizing design and construction, what are we looking at? We want to ensure that our building design is flexible so that the spaces are also adaptable for future use. And you could convert commercial to residential, you could convert residential to commercial or to educational facilities. So that because of the flexibility that you have thought about during your design. And the second thing to consider in optimizing design and construction is that you engage the digital design tools that are available. Sometimes you don't even know that they are there. And then you kind of make sure that these tools, even though they are international standard, you contextualize them. So that, for instance, we have one for Nigeria, which I know there's one that is being operated upon now, but you can bring it as low as what are the indices for Kaduna in specific terms. Because in Nigeria is a very broad country. So you have different climatic conditions in Nigeria. So you specify for this area, for that area, and we're going to also look at more on that. And then the material passports that we talk about, so it's going to ensure that you have digital records for reuse and for disassembly. You know, sometimes, probably you have done a structure, and government said, this area is supposed to be the green area. And if you are not careful, because it didn't engage circular economy in your design, it's going to go into demolition. And the lands will be filled, even health-wise, the dust from demolition, houses around, people around will be affected. So health challenges will be created apart from the environmental pollution, apart from the eyesores that you see when you are passing by structures that have been demolished. But once you are able to have a material passport, or you have your modular members of your structure, you discover that you just disassemble them and move to the next place where you have a plot where the permit allows you to have that kind of structure. So you just disassemble them and move your structure elsewhere. So that's what circular economy helps us to do in terms of optimizing our material so they don't go into waste. So how do we now think infrastructure to ensure green and blue infrastructures are put in place? Like we always say, green roof is not just the color of the roofing materials that should be green, but that engage and encourage and make sure that you have green in terms of feed. You use your roof to harvest, you use your roof to balance the ecosystem by having plants. So those are the kind of things that you are expected to do. And wetlands, and then passive cooling. You can even cool your building with the use of your roof.
Driving conversations that align with the Sustainable Development Goals, particularly the SDG 9 on industry, innovation and infrastructure, and the SDG 11 on sustainable cities and communities. The House of Representatives, under the leadership of Right Honorable Ambassador remains firmly committed to legislative frameworks that promote sustainable urban development and inclusive infrastructure. The Speaker believes that architecture is not merely about physical structures, but about the kind of nation we build. One that balances functionality with beauty, innovation and sustainability, and growth with social equity. Through the relevant committees of the House of Representatives, the Speaker has given chance to deliberate efforts which are ongoing to strengthen laws that encourage green building standards, affordable housing, urban renewal, and the development of modern public facilities that meet the needs of growing population. The Speaker, Right Honorable Ambassador, has consistently demonstrated his belief that infrastructure is the foundation of national progress. In his home constituency of Zaria, for those of you that have visited Zaria recently, and across Kaduna State, his track record speaks volumes, from the construction of modern roads and bridges that connect communities to the rehabilitation of schools that shape young minds and the establishment of healthcare centers that bring medical services closer to the people. He has also championed ICT development, the provision of water projects, and the renovation of public facilities, ensuring that no community is left behind. These interventions are not mere physical projects. They represent a broader philosophy of governance, one that connects infrastructure with human development. Right Honorable believes that a strong Nigeria must be built by the pillars of education, innovation, and opportunity. His vision is clear: to ensure that every bridge built leads to opportunity, every classroom constructed opens the door to knowledge, and every road becomes a pathway to national prosperity. The approach to leadership resonates strongly with today's theme, as sustainable architecture and infrastructure must go hand in hand with social impact and economic inclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, the Speaker firmly supports collaboration between the public and private sectors, academia, and the professional bodies such as the Nigerian Institute of Architects. He believes that architects are not just designers of space, but visionaries of national identity. Their creativity and technical expertise are essential in building the kind of Nigeria we aspire to have. A nation that balances progress with preservation and growth with sustainability.
During the presentation, Bob mentioned about the perception that has the implication of building sustainability. Where people, research has shown that yes, there's an upfront cost, which is always a hindrance for projects, right? So how do we mitigate that? As a cost consultant, I know there are certain things that we consider for when we're running projects.
Looking at the question that you just asked, it's quite apparent that when you are going into sustainability of the audience, the first challenge is the upfront cost. But as a practice of your, we try to enlighten our clients to tell them the benefits, to not just look at the initial cost. We do what we call whole life costing, tell them about the value, the cost of the initial construction itself. We look at the maintenance cost, we tell them this is what it costs you to maintain this particular facility. We also look at the operational cost, we break the costs down. And we tell them at the end of the day, you know, if you look at the residual value that we are going to get from this building, because if we're talking about sustainability, we are saying we want to recycle the economy. So if you go into this circular construction of sustainability or sustainable construction itself, your building will have what we call residual value, which is a benefit that you're going to get at the long term, not just at the short term. We also look at try to convince them on the resale value, you know, because it means at the end of the day, if you say you want to deconstruct, because we are now moving away from demolition to the construction, we will tell you we will do material audit, come to the building, take complete material audit of the entire materials that are there, and these materials can be used somewhere else. You don't need to, you know, throw them away, and we also try to, you know, move away from recycling, because recycling will actually devalue the embedded energy within those materials. So as much as we try to take our time, talk to the clients, enlighten them, take them through the stages of the life cycle of the building, and at the end of the day, we ensure that they will now, you know, understand the value of this circular economy I'm talking about, and then going for a sustainable building.
The operations of the building. Okay, that's awesome. Prof, back to you. Basically, is trying to keep the materials in the loop as against the need. But how do we, as architects, also considering the fact that survey you highlighted about 75% of professionals are not even aware of circular economic principles? How do we get them on board, first of all, acquiring the knowledge and then transferring the knowledge to also their clients? Because at the end of the day, the professionals are not going to work for the client.
Well, during the discussion, I was able to say that we need to have sensitizations. Even like the forum that we're having here, we need to ensure that students at that level are also aware. Because they can even speak to maybe the father or one of the students giving your client. So you kind of have a ripple effect. You can also have a forum for the general public. You invite them into spaces that will discuss these advantages that we have with circular economy. So to enable them to buy into it. And then I was talking about also about celebrating examples, compliance. And once you do that, others are seeing it, they want to buy into it, and it will certainly promote the use of circular economy. Thank you.
An appreciation of your valuable thought-provoking insight that have attributions have reached the conference and inspired the architectural community. This award is presented to Architect Professor Evelyn Lani A. Alu Kamkun. Congratulations.
A huge round of applause for that special opportunity.
I will first of all rely on the speech that was delivered by the President of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. I also appreciate the fact that I am called upon here to say one or two words. For me, it's 3 over 3 today. I was here, Kadaf 1.0, representing the then President of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, Architect Eni Benebo. I was here last year, Kadaf 2.0, representing the former President of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, Sa'ar Mata, the new name acquired in Kaduna today. So 3.0. Today is the first time I'm here on my own accord as Architect Saulawa, the incoming president. And by the grace of God, I have witnessed the tremendous growth of this Kadaf. And inshallah, we will live long to witness 4.0. Thank you very much.
I think my goodwill message will also rely on a very beautiful and nicely presented paper by Professor Emily. I think if you are talking of the topic or the theme of the Kadaf 3.0, that paper would have done a lot of justice to what the organizers would I want to put forward. I must thank the organizers of the event for bringing the professor to talk to us on some of the issues she raised in her paper. They're very, very important. And I think some of the things that we may need to take home from the paper is the to-do list from what she presented. We can only appreciate and thank her for the presentation by trying to create some kind of to-do list based on the paper. And my own suggestion is to look at some kind of stakeholder platforms that will follow this event in trying to achieve this. Because
Chairman of the occasion and President Nigerian Institute of Architects, President Nigerian Institute of Architects Chapter, and the APON leadership here present, other members of the High Table Cabinet, as a member of this great institute, and then representing His Highness, the Emir. His Highness would have loved to hear about some existences that coincided with this event. He has asked me to come here and I'll present him. His Highness is proud of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, especially the Kaduna chapter and the Department of ABA. If you get to the palace now, you will notice a lot of changes, a lot of beautifications, a lot of renovations, a lot of remodeling and other developmental projects. All these are achieved with the help of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. We have a lot of architects around us. I don't need to mention it. One of the committees was headed by the former Vice President, Architect Namoji Sambo. There are other architects, a lot that time will not permit us to mention their names. He has asked me, I'm coming here to wish the organizers a fruitful discussion, and he has asked me to wish and pray that at the end of this exercise, this gathering, the gathering will act like a springboard for our individual and collective development.
I should speak for her, so I will be saying everything together, but in recognizing the members of the strategic committee, I recognize the presence of the national treasurer. Please put your hands together. The past treasurer of the institute, Architect Foster, Adibola Ibikuli, that's my predecessor. And I also have a blessing to take home. Architect Kabiru, I asked I said, what do you call a prophet? He said, Anabi. I think you are an Anabi here today. Because when people thought that he mistakenly introduced me the wrong way, I said, that's a prophetic introduction. Thank you very much, sir. And in representing the third vice president of the institute, he honestly wanted to be here, but there are always those assignments. Sometimes Madam President is here. When she gives us assignments, we have to do them. And the third vice president has one of those assignments right now, and at the same time, he has personal issues that he must of necessity attend to at the same time. To avoid so many clashes, he's not able to come. But he has asked me to tell you that he believes that Kadaf is still going places and that you should continue to do it the way you have been doing it from Kadaf 1 and from Kadaf 2. I think he's been involved all along because he's been supervising all the chapters. Because I know I've met him in a number of other chapter events like this.
Partners of Nigeria, I extend warm greetings and deep appreciation to the NIA for always inviting us and collaborating with us on the Kadaf program. Now, just as the incoming president has said, I'm also 3 over 3 in this conference. Your openness and collaboration demonstrates that no single profession has all the answers to climate change or building resilience. But together we can achieve sustainable solutions for our cities and rural areas. I grew up in Kaduna, like the current president has said. I grew up on Isa Keita Road and Sultan Cruise, 20 minutes drive from this point, depending on what they are riding. Now, today our cities face unprecedented challenges. There was a time Angwari, this part of Kaduna, was a carbon city. You could walk from Murtala Square to Central Market under 3 canopies, and you will not sweat from the sun. You are sweating from either fatigue or from kinetic motion. Today, our cities are bare of it. We have spoken so much about resilient buildings, but the building can only be resilient if the environment is green. Just like the professor said, you know, when we talk about, it's not elected, it's a goodwill message.
It's going to be very short. I'm just going to extend my appreciation to the Kaduna State Chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Architects for organizing this. This is the third outing of this, and you've done very well. We appreciate it. I wish you all the best. I wish all of us long life so that we can live to see the 4th, the 5th, the 6th editions of this laudable project. Inshallah. Thank you very much. To just adopt it so that I will not waste too much time. So straight to the point, Kaduna State Chapter, we have come a long way together. My short stay in Kaduna, we worked hand in hand together, and I've always been very proud of everything that you're doing. I'm extremely proud of this new outing that you call Kadaf. This is the 3.0. I'm not sure if I was in Kaduna when 1.0 took place. For sure, I did not attend 2.0, but I'm here 3.0. It's a very laudable cause. We're extremely proud of you. And from the theme that you have adopted this year, it is a very welcome development because it gives us opportunity to really stimulate ourselves in current issues. The lecture that was presented to us by the professor was so apt, so we'll continue to push ourselves more and more. So I'm very proud of what you're doing. On behalf of myself, I would want to congratulate you, and I hope that, like my friend said earlier, that we all live long enough to be part of more. So keep the flag flying, well done, and congratulations. Thank you.
Well, Father of the here represented, Mr. Incoming President, my chairman, Architect Sada, always my chairman, the outcome president here represented, representing the Abuja chapter where I come from. So firstly, on behalf of my chapter chair and the executive of the Abuja chapter, this is to congratulate the Kaduna State team for putting the third edition of this program together. And I would be quick to add on that front that we wish you all the best in future editions to come, and we'll be more than willing and glad to collaborate with you. This is an extremely strong theme you have here, building a resilient future. Then on my part, what I'd like to say is that when coming into Kaduna this morning, I noticed Kaduna, well, I've been to Kaduna a lot of times, even from when I was much younger. Kaduna has an incredibly rich history. You know, sitting in front of us, well, Kaduna, and by extension, AE, you know, sometimes when you see the retinue of people who graduated from AE, you sometimes wish you attended AE, but we went to a very good school as well. We finished from an extremely good school. That's what, yes. Thank you, Madam President. Yeah, so my point is, and Professor Evelyn talked about it in her paper, Kaduna State holds an extremely strong part of national history. And when driving into the city this morning, I noticed some old industrial buildings completely abandoned. And I started thinking to myself, what are we doing as architects? How much advocacy are we putting into policy spaces? How can we revive, the economy? Because honestly, as architects, we're the designers of not just the built environment, but the economic and social environment. So we have to, as Kaduna, I'm speaking to the Kaduna State chapter and Kadaf by extension, you've got to see this platform as an opportunity to change the dearth in the city. You've got to see it as a vehicle through which you're able to transform the way people see derelict assets,
I need 2.0. Everything I tried to do at 2.0 did not work. And as fate will have it, I was almost missing 3.0. And then my bosses were engaged and they had to send me. So I have to get 3.0. So the president sent a message. Registrar Akon wanted to be here today, but had to be at the National Assembly today. So he promised that he will make sure he catches up with Kadaf 3.0 before we close tomorrow. Madam President, the third presidency, and I would like to adopt the beautiful protocol built by my predecessor in office as the chair. When I was here for 1.0, I came as the chair of Oshun to identify with my brother, Obajide, and he established a very wonderful protocol that I would like to adopt. I mean, I couldn't do anything better than what he has done with the protocol. So back to the message of Mr. President. Distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure to, well, it's not here, but to be represented here at Kaduna Health Forum. He wants to commend the chapter for sustaining this vital platform through 1.0 to 3.0. And he made reference to the theme, building a resilient future, architecture, risk, and sustainability in Kaduna to be a both timely and visionary theme. It challenges also create buildings and communities that can withstand environmental, economic, and social pressures while remaining functional and sustainable. At ACOM, we share this vision and have taken deliberate steps to strengthen the practice of architecture nationwide. It made references to some of our recent achievements.
The time I came, over beyond the stories, was in 1984 when he was in detention in Zaria. So we flew into Kaduna and then drove to Zaria, to the Zaria prison at the time. So for putting together Kadaf 3.0, my prayer is that we'll have many more of these programs that showcases what architecture is about. And I want to appreciate the professor, not Katadu, but Kanu, for that wonderful presentation. Basically, it has urged us on to move ahead. And I would now want to throw a challenge to the Kaduna chapter. Again, as was mentioned by my brother, Briggs, there are glorious opportunities in this land. Again, it's the architect, the leader of the design team that can actually generate ideas. So why don't we take the challenge? Let's enumerate all of these moribund facilities, factories, buildings, even they're listed, and create a project out of it, and let government understand that this is our own injection. By it, there'll be employment. By it, there'll be participation with our students in school because they'll also learn. So I'm throwing the challenge that we should look at some of the factories. What are the proposed future uses? Again, the topic is building a resilient future. The first quarter of the century is gone. How do we reimagine the next 25 years? What is the role of architecture in our realm here to come up with a resilient future? So I wish Kaduna chapter well. I'm happy to be here. I'm here for the long haul, till tomorrow, till Friday. So let's enjoy. God bless you.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Why I'm saying this? Because the genesis of Kadaf, I was instrumental to it. And when we talk about architects, Danjuma, Agini, the first Kadaf, we did it together. And I'm glad. You see, that's why I say give thanks to God 3 times. You look at the first one, you look at the second one, you look at the third one. And that's what we're supposed to be doing, to grow together. Because as the first chairman of Lagos State Chapter, I was able to host, and it's from 11th edition to the 14th edition. And my present chairman has done the 15th edition. And by the grace of God, continue to host, to make it continue, and we spend many, many more years. Same with other chapters as well, maybe in a different nomenclature. Oasis, Abuja, this is the beauty of architects. If I tell you what the Architects Forum in Lagos has produced today, is great. We have a building control agency. This emanated from, the forum. We have what we call accredited certifier, where the government has got less capacity in monitoring building and doing all sorts of things, and it's the architects that anchor today. So I really appreciate you, Kaduna State Chapter, and having witnessed and had the privilege of witnessing the first, the second, the third. Definitely, I know we're going places, and I wish you all to have, a successful deliberation. And also, the other comment here is, yes, we have a problem in Lagos before. There's this dichotomy between the public sector and the private sector. Let's get more of the public sector here, because it's with them that when we push this thing out, the governor or the government listens. And the
Nigeria Institute of Architects, Lagos State Chapter, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to all members of the Kaduna State Chapter of the NIA. I also extend my heartfelt congratulations to all the participants and the distinguished members of the architectural community of Nigeria in this 3rd edition of the Kaduna State Architects Forum 2025. The theme, building a resilient future, architecture, risk and sustainability in Kaduna, is both timely and visionary, which is what this forum is supposed to address. As our cities and communities face the growing challenges of climate change, rapid urbanization and social economic shifts, the role of architecture in shaping sustainable and resilient environments is more critical and cannot be overemphasized. Kaduna, with its rich cultural heritage and strategic position in the northern Nigeria, stands at a pivotal moment. The dialogue and innovations that will emerge from this forum have the potential to influence not just the skylines of Kaduna, but the well-being and future readiness of the people of Kaduna. which I think I can claim to be one of them because I also had my primary school education here in Kaduna. It's a homecoming for me. I would like to commend the chapter and most especially the executives of Kaduna State Chapter, ably led by the chairman and of course the able vice chairman who is going to be the incoming chairman, for providing this important platform of collaboration, knowledge, exchange and strategic thinking. I pray, inshallah, that this gathering will spark actionable insight, strength, partnership, and inspire the most important, the generation coming behind us, the next generation of architects who will design with purpose, foresight, and integrity. I pray that this forum will continue to blossom and lead all of us, and outlive all of us by God's grace.
I'm from Katsina. Katsina actually was the father of Kaduna State. And when I say was the father of Kaduna State, was the mother. If you see most of the architects, when they call incoming president to come and deliver his message, the next person they call was from Katsina. And the person that introduced them was from Katsina. So, Kaduna State Chapter is doing well. And we hope to invite them in Katsina so that we will do the same to them. Thank you. Thank you.
Her friend, and she's nearly everywhere. Ma, God will bless you and God will reward you. The incoming president, a very perfect gentleman, I love and I respect. Thank you very much for sending us a worthy representative. Permit me to also key in from what Architect David Majikodubi said, because I was so privileged to be on that table that the Lagos chapter chair was referring to when Architect Benjuma and a couple of us from LAF were discussing replicating something similar in Kaduna. And as God will have it and divine providence will have it, I was also here at the maiden edition of Kadaf. And today, it's with great joy and excitement to see it growing. So much so that today we can even have Madam President and very distinguished architects and personalities like this. Permit me to also say that on behalf of the students, the chapter chair of Kaduna, and of course, every other chapter chair I see here, I can see my dearly beloved big brother, Architect Lukoya, the chair of Plateau State, Architect Kamal too, that has just spoken, Lagos chair. Sincerely, what you are doing with our students is commendable, and we thank you so much. I make bold to say the larger population that is even gathered here are students, and this is a good sign that we are truly building a resilient future, because this future are with these students. And we thank you so very much for giving us space to express ourselves. May the good Lord continue to bless you, bless this chapter, and we look forward to also having you soon on the 4th of November in Niger State. You know,
from Plateau State, I want to thank God for Kadaf 3.0. I was here last year, and sincerely we are very proud of the Kaduna State Chapter. Yes, thank you. And I also want to appreciate Professor Evening for a well-delivered paper. In fact, our platform is almost exploding, because we're sending reports on the platform. My encouragement, my dear chair, Kaduna, the perfect gentleman, is for us to, yes, we thank God for all the students, but there are younger architects that Madam President is very concerned about. Some of them are not registered, some of them are, but they are very strong, very resilient, and many of them are outside the institute. We need to concentrate on them because we are trying to build a future. So you must go after them, because if you can get them and get their energy, you are going to really build a very resilient future. So once again, we celebrate you and we wish you well.
Nigerian School of Engineers, there's no power, here, but other agencies are we. The theme of the conference is apt, very apt, and I'd like to thank the speaker for doing a very well job to presented. But it was good for us to take away lessons from the conference, make sure we have steps to ensure whatever we engage here is put into place. In line with this, I'd like to appreciate the chairman and I Kaduna branch chapter, because we have this strong collaboration with KASUDA, the Urban Planning Development Agency. We meet and 2 months intervals, and other allied professionals are involved, builders, quantity surveyors, engineers. I think it's a good forum where every decision of this conference can be put forward for implementation. So the theme of the conference is apt, and I like the collaboration we have, allied professionals in Kaduna with KASUDA, and I would like to use that forum to please make sure we put all these things in place so that we can move forward and implement this thing in Kaduna. The speaker said Kaduna should be a leading agency, and I'm sure we can do that and we will do that. Thank you very much for everything.
And prepare and take advantage of the presence of our marketers, our colleagues, our collaborators that we talked about earlier.
To Ahmed Mustafa, in appreciation of your valuable, thought-provoking insights that have advanced understanding and opened new perspectives. Your contributions have enriched the conference and inspired the architecture community. Congratulations. My name is Architect Mobolaji Adeola Adeniyi, renamed Sa'adatu at this conference, and I'm the president of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. It's been a great pleasure to be at Kadaf 3.0, this event, the forum of the Kaduna chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, with a theme this year of building a resilient future, architecture, risk and sustainability in Kaduna. And this theme is really very apt because we are at a time in our lives, not just within Kaduna, but on a global scale, that we need to be talking about resilience in our buildings, in our designs, and in the environment in general. As a matter of fact, the World Architecture Day this year had its theme as building with strength, because we need to build with strength. We need to encourage all architects, designers, and everyone in the built environment to begin to adapt methods, systems that will give us resilient cities, and looking at the future of our cities and ensuring that we're handing over something for younger people coming ahead to be able to build upon. So it's been a very eventful time. We've had the older architects here, the younger architects, the students, and this is the kind of synergy that we want. We want to be able to pass on experience to the younger architects, while the younger architects also bring on technological improvements in the built industry that they're also passing on to the older architects. So I believe that this forum has been very successful. I congratulate the Kaduna chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. I thank God for the wealth of experience that we've seen from all the speakers. They've all demonstrated capacity, competence. I'm very proud of Kaduna chapter of the NIA. Thank you. Of Architects is having its biennial general conference, which is called the BGM, November 25th to the 30th in Abuja. It is an event that all architects within the 37 chapters of Nigeria must attend. At that event, we're going to have lots and lots of opportunities to network, learn new things, because we're having speakers both international and national. We're going to have dignitaries from the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Vice President Chetima himself. Governors are coming, ministers are coming, and more importantly, every architect is going to be in Abuja. You don't want to miss it. I will be there to host you. Looking forward to see you, Abuja BGM 2025.
Okay. And then the BGM and what you expect the students to do.
Hello everyone, I am Ramlet Hajia Mohammed, student from Ahmadu Bello University Zaria. I'm the president of the National Association of Architecture Students of Nigeria, which include universities and polytechnics. I'm inviting you all for the 2025 BGM happening in Abuja /AkiBuild/AkFirst Convention, National Convention that is happening in Abuja. We're all inviting you to be present. We are having guests from international guests, national guests. We're having students from all around the country. They will be present to attend the BGM. Don't miss out this opportunity. I will be present as the president of the National Association of Architecture Students. You don't want to miss this opportunity. You're going to connect with allied professionals, students from different schools of architecture in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. Thank you so much. Bye. Don't snap me past now.
Thank you very much. See you later on. DJ. I hope we have people coordinating, maintain. There's a line here. Students, please follow the order.
The most important thing is family life for a woman. You get married, because as soon as I finished my NYC, after marriage is Nigeria, they start looking at your stomach. And so I couldn't even sit for my exams until when they were established enough before I went back into full-time practice. So I understand that we're left behind a bit because of family issues. But that does not stop us from showing up and ensuring that we're taking up our space. And there's so much in us, so much to give. When a woman is in leadership, I'm sure you all know the difference. Because you give it all that it takes. Because you care about the details that maybe the men overlook. With a compassionate face that things are working well. Architects, let's not be in practice. I started my own architectural firm, and to the glory of God, it's every female architect can do it. You are as lucky as you to be small and slim. They will give you a job. You have to be resilient. It's one of the time. What you do at this time, do you give up? I started doing materials. I started doing all of that. People started recognizing me for who I was, and that's how I started getting small commissions before they became big. So to the glory of God, there's nothing any of these guys are doing that I have not done. There's no kind of projects that they've been given and not been given, and I know that everybody here has the capacity. So let's not shy. Let's not have fun. What about in the NIA? Should we have a boss? We should. Sometimes I'm ashamed. And the same way you have supported me, I want to pay. Because you know it's like you understand much. So it's a difference. in your chapter chair. I was chapter chair 23 years ago. You know, I was also the first career in building, because women build. I built. I'm sure many of you also built. Embarrassingly, my students have now retired, so I don't know what I'm still for 8 years also. Whatever capacity, just make sure you're going there to be able to do so. Finally, you know, that's one of the problems that women have. Women are not friends to women. Please. Professional women support each other. Please, all those minor things that some women talk about, forget it. She sent me a message. She said the only woman more beautiful than I. All of us to fly. We've had only 2 female presidents. Do it! We have the numbers, we have the influence, we have the capacity. Last thing is this. Don't just go there because you're a woman. Go there because you're calling on people and I want you to surpass them.
Okay. Sorry, sir. I want to tell that this reminds you of. Immediately you see it. What is it? Huh? It's not that. It's not from baseball.
Giving me an older architect now.
This is the senior brand. Yeah. Because as soon as I saw this is what I saw. So I'm sure. Which opera house?
This is the concept of handmade. This is
I'm sure you're thinking
it's like, because right behind you is the sea. If you are approaching it, right behind you is the sea. So it's like a ship going. That is how the architect got his concept.
It becomes something.
Because what you have here is complete.
Who did this one?
I call it a relief 3D. In the sense that a relief 3D.
Relief?
Yes, more like cutting out, which is probably 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional, so it is the front, the top, and the right. So just showing the interesting parts exactly. What is your thought? What are you talking about? Now, I go beyond just building as an sky. It's all on the wrong side. Oh, yeah, get it?
I think your book was one of the best. I will recognize you as the people.
Thank you, ma.
Yes. We'll be needing you as our style. Castle seal.
Yeah, that's one of our products.
Yes. Nigeria. Yeah, I know your castles.
Yes, but I don't know if you know our new product.
Which one is
Fiber cement, but just like this, but it's
interior.
But it's
What's the thickness?
6 mm.
Architecture village. We want to put up some very fast walls. Perhaps you can go and like what is new about this one?
Why this Osho
Yes, and I make architects look beautiful like this.
Buy something for them.
Yeah.
Doctors are our
go to their shop, go to their stand, they have a space is there. Somebody is continuously showing how this thing is used. So you find that what is that saying?
Let's go, they're not yet. We'll see them tomorrow.
We'll see them tomorrow. It's their new one. They're just coming for the first time with us. Yes.
Hello, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Faculty of Environmental.
Yeah. It's an honor well deserved. Yes, architectural practice. So here presented, and congratulations.
Award, but I'm very, very happy, and I really appreciate it. And when I saw the letter, I saw celebrity architect. I was like, celebrity, you know? I mean, I thought I was being equated with the Zahadis of this world, or Foster, the rest of them. But on a more serious note, I'm very happy that I'm considered for this award. I don't take it for granted at all, and it is really, really appreciated. So I thank you very much.
The use of technology, AI and smart
innovative architectural features in Nigeria, enhancing the use of technology, AI and smart systems in practice. Future, architecture risk and sustainability in Kaduna. And it's basically two questions for me. How do we design for tomorrow, today? And there's a lot of answers, not necessarily right or wrong ones. And the second one is also, should the future buildings be smarter than our traffic lights? Just by a show of hands, how many of us think that our traffic lights are smart? The regular. Last night, early this morning, when I was looking at the figures, Nigeria is estimated to get about 238 million, maybe 239 million. And that's about 2.89% of the world that's Nigerian. So it's about 3 people in every 100 in the world are Nigerians. That means that there's some shortage of housing. As we know, globally there's about 2.8 billion people that don't have access to adequate housing. When you think about Africa, it's 50 to 53 billion housing units shortage. And in Nigeria, at least, we think it's around 28 million housing units that we're short of. There's no clear data on Kaduna, but recently, sometime in November 2023, the government announced a drive towards 10,000 mass housing units. And the FHA is also piloting about 500 units on 157 hectares of land. So as I'm teaching you, it's how the population is growing, and we know it's also going to continue. On infrastructure, there's an increased pressure on housing.
It's Stephen Jatop-Filia, the chairman of Nigerian Institute of Architects, Kaduna State Chapter. These from the 22nd of October to 23rd of October, we are celebrating Kadaf 3.0. Kadaf 3.0 is Kaduna Architects Forum. That is, the acronym is Kadaf. We have created this platform after the celebration of 50 years of the Nigerian Institute of Architects in Kaduna. After that celebration, we saw the need that there is need for us to celebrate the achievements of architects in Kaduna and also be professionals who are impacting government policy. And there is no way we can impact government policy but by starting a platform like this where architects will come, exchange ideas, profile solutions to challenges in the built environment, and also profile solutions that at the end of the day will also impact on government policies. So that is why we have created this platform, and we have been able to, we are now in Kadaf 3.0, we have done Kadaf 3.1 in 2023, Kadaf 1.0 in 2023, Kadaf 2.0 in 2024, and here we are in Kadaf 3.0 in 2025. And the Kadaf platform has been growing. Many architects are coming from all over Nigeria, like you can rightly confirm that many of the architects that came today, some came in from Lagos. The chairman of the Lagos chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Architects is here, and some many prominent members of the institute, all the way from Lagos. We have been able to attract vendors all over the country. There are some that came in from Lagos and all over Nigeria. The idea is for us to create a platform where manufacturers of building materials, architects can come and exchange ideas, discuss solutions to the building challenges that we are facing, especially the issues of climatic changes, how they affect buildings, and what are the solutions. And also in terms of trying to address the building deficit in Nigeria, whether infrastructural deficit, or residential buildings, or housing issues. We are all discussing this at Kadaf. Especially this year, we are discussing building resilient features, architectural risks, and sustainability. And all of us were able to listen to the first paper that dealt with the issues of waste in construction. So these are the issues that we've been discussing, issues of the climate, issues of, and we are also getting bigger. Like I said, we are attracting architects all over Nigeria. In fact, this is even a major program of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. Even when they do the national calendar, they usually ask, when is Kadaf coming? Which means Kadaf, the Kaduna Architects Forum, is already a national platform. So we intend to increase it. In fact, we are already into discussion with the Nigerian Institute of Architects, the national body, that we want to bring in architects, especially from West Africa, to be some of the main speakers subsequently. And I'm sure in the nearest future that Kadaf will be going places, will be attracting architects not only in Nigeria but all over the world. And I'm sure it will impact us, because exchange of ideas, that is what grows architecture. Some of the interesting innovations that we are seeing in architecture, AI, and some of the topics that we are discussing, we will be able to harness it, bring it closer to our architects when we bring in the professionals. So we don't have to go to Europe, they will come here. While they come, they bring their ideas, they learn something from us. Recently, in fact, we have even gone to the Emir of Zaria. You know, Zaria architecture is one of the prominent platforms of architecture in Africa, not only in Nigeria. And we are already planning that subsequently on the Kadaf platform, we'll be celebrating house architecture, especially the one in Zaria. So we are very happy that Kadaf has taken off today, 22nd of October, in a full force. You can see the president of the Nigerian Institute of Architects is here, and she's staying with us up to the end of Kadaf. Tomorrow, the incoming president of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, Architect Sani Saulawa, is also here. So it's actually a platform that is attracting architects. And I'm sure that some of the policies that we are going to, some of the recommendations from the papers that are being discussed at this seminar and forum will also be getting to government. One of the members that gave a goodwill remarks from the Nigerian Society of Engineers informed us, because we have, using this platform, we have created another platform of allied professionals, builders, engineers. We go all around Kaduna to check the building construction that is going on. And he's saying some of the recommendations that are here will be some of the things that we'll be implementing on that forum. And even the DG Kasubda was here this afternoon. He has been very supportive of the professionals, not only architects, all the building professionals. We are synergizing, we are cooperating, and we are working with one another. That is in order to mitigate building collapse, especially in Kaduna. And that has been making impact, and we will continue to do this. Our prayer is that Kadaf will continue to grow from strength to strength. Thank you for this opportunity to share some few things about Kaduna Architects Forum. Thank you very much. Yes. I'm Architect Stephen Jatop Filia, I am attending the NIA BGM 2025 fully with a group of architects from Kaduna who will be part of that program. It is our end of year biennial general meeting. The whole of the architects in Kaduna we are mobilizing. In fact, this forum is one of the platforms that we are using to mobilize all architects in Kaduna who will be fully in the NIA BGM 2025. And that is where the elections is going to take place. We hope that the programs will be enriching and it will also propel our architects to greater heights in the coming years. I will be there. Thank you very much.
Control points. I remember early last year I took a course in GIS and we managed access to the certain sites, allowing permission to do that. They may be in the center of the city and everything in there is
Good afternoon. Architect Binta Othman Maliki, the present Vice Chairperson, Kaduna State NIA, and the incoming Chairperson. We're here attending Kadaf 3.0. We had the first one, which was dealing more with urban renewal, and then we had the Kadaf 2.0, which was more like integrating the urban and the rural. While this time around we're looking at giving Kaduna State resilient buildings. So Kadaf 3.0 is basically looking at the different angles through which we can achieve this theme for the Kadaf 3.0.
What will be the take home for everyone?
Yeah, the take home is enormous. You know, it's like we are not just here to discuss. Definitely we're here to provide solutions to problems that we have. So we have students competition, which is on slum. So we're thinking of, you know, in the urban areas, we also have certain areas whereby you have probably the house helps, the drivers and so on, they are living there, but in the urban area, but it's a slum area. So we're now looking at how do we now upgrade without displacing them. You know, we upgrade and still allow them to live there and still integrate them into the urban setting. So it's one of the things or whatever for the competition this year. And flood mitigation is another thing that Kadaf 3.0 is also looking into. What are the causes of the flood? How do we solve the problems? How do we mitigate? You know, flood is a natural occurrence. There's nothing you can do about it. But how do you live through the flood and after? Kadaf 3.0 is equally looking into that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, you tell us about the event holding in Abuja. Are you going to be there?
Yeah, inshallah, there's the BGM coming up, and God willing, we'll be there. That's November. Once again, I'm Architect Binta Othman Maliki. As you know, the BGM is coming up in November, and as the incoming chairperson, we're inviting everyone. You know, we want you all to attend the BGM in Abuja, and God willing, here we come.
I'm proud of you, and you're the future that we're really looking up to. I saw you stand up there. You took a deep breath. Remember some words to yourself. I want you to know what's going on. Took courage. Took off like a plane. Cruised, and it is there. Let's clap for me. It's my privilege because I like to celebrate young people that are sharp, young people that have confidence to take us up. And I hope you